In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the storm. So we're going to start out with our pond tract B, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on our surface. So I'm going to right click on surface, right click, highlight existing surface properties. We're going to take a look at contours and contours 1 and 5 background. We're going to leave that, turn that on. I go okay. So the natural ground out here, the lowest elevation is going to be basically, I'm going to say it's going to be a 71 for our site. Okay, we can tie easily into a 71. So that's what I'm going to make the bottom of pond, because I'm going to assume that 1 foot below the 71 elevation, so basically 70, is going to be our seasonal high water table. It could possibly be 69. I'll have to take a look. Now, what we're going to do is, we know that we're tying into grades of elevation of 80 here. So what's going to happen is we're going to have issues with a retaining wall or something like that. So if we know we're having an 80 or an 81 through here, and I'm just going to copy this one because I want to see what CO for copy, center and end point. I want to see what the elevation is right here. So basically we're going to say this is an 81. Now I'm going to use the easement line as one of my offsets. Okay. Now I know I'm tying into a ground elevation of 71. So that's basically 10 feet. Now I'd really like to use a 4-to-1 slope to get up to the 81. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a polyline from the end point here to the end point here. Okay, so this isn't a whole 81, but it's going to give me the closest that I can easily tie into. So if I O for offset and I offset 4, so that's 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, and there we're set. Now, what we can do is create the pond to 80. But that only leaves us here, and that makes going back down to a 71 not very attractive. So we don't want to use this side. That means if I now have an offset of 10, and I'll explain this, offset of 10, so that would be an 80. Now I go offset of 4 again, so that'd be 79, 78, 76, 75, 74, 73, 72, 71 elevation. I lose a lot of ground, so I don't want to build from this side. I actually want to go downhill quickly and keep my pond here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that out. So I typically have my pond no more than 5 feet deep. And if I'm tying and assuming this is a 71, so here's my 70, I'm assuming the bottom of my pond is 71. So this would be 72. I've got to come up and then come back down. So if the bottom of the pond is 70, the top of bank is going to be 74, 75. Okay, or 73, 74 if I only want 4 feet deep. So we're going to try 4 feet deep. So I'm going to go offset 4. So that's 71. Oops, offset 4. So this is 72, 73, 74. Okay. Then I'm going to offset 10 feet. That'll be my top of bank. Then I'm going to offset 4 feet. 73, 72, 71, and 70. I'm going to offset this line right here. I'm going to take this, I'm going to create a polyline. Right now I'm on the no plot layer. I'm going to extend EX for extend and extend that down. So basically this is going to be an 80 elevation. Offset 4, 79, 78, 76, 75, 74, 73, 72, 71, 70. Okay, so these two elevations are going to be 70. So I just highlighted both of those, and I'm just going to write elevation over here as 70. Okay, have to do the same thing on these sides here. Now the distance between here is going to be 38 feet. Okay. What I might do is use a portion of this because I don't think that's going to be big enough. So I'm going to use a portion of this area here as my pond also. Okay. I will probably make the pond tract out to here because I don't think that's going to be big enough. I'm going to start here and I'll show you what I mean. We'll start with this. So I'm going to say if that is a 74, I'm going to take, so we said this is 70, and I'm going to go ahead and put elevations on there because I like to see my elevations. I'm going to say that's 71. That one is elevation of 71. This one is elevation of 72. This is an elevation of 73. This is an elevation of 70. So that's 70, 71, 72, 73. This is elevation of 74. This one's 75. 76, 77, 78. Okay, make sure I did that right. 1, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. We'll make that 79. All right. Because I'm going to turn this into a surface. That's why I'm putting these elevations on there for a cut and fill analysis. 74. So this will be a 73. 72, and this will be a 71. Okay. Now, I'm going to change that color. Once I get this done, I'll put it on its proper layer. I'll put it on a pond layer. So from, you can see that there's an 82 basically here. So if I do a circle, actually I'm going to draw a line. And I'm going to offset that 10 feet. Okay. So this here is a 79. I'm going to say, I'm sorry, yeah, this will be a 79. Okay. And this contour here will be 79. So fillet radius 0 for right now. I just want to see what it looks like. Fillet radius 0. It didn't fillet because the elevation has to be the same. Fillet radius, fillet radius 0. So I'm going to click here and click here. Okay, now there is no 79 contour except for somewhere back here, okay? So it's basically going to tie into, if I go 69, 69.6 minus 81.59. So this minus this divided by 60.9. 69.6 minus 81.59 divided by 60.9. The slope here is basically 20%. It's 19.68. So if I have 81.59 minus 79 divided by 20%. I'm just going to go with 20 to make my math easy. So I have 81.59 minus 79. That's 2.58 feet of a drop divided by 0.2, which is my 20%. That's basically 12.95 feet. So I'm going to draw a circle at 12.995 feet. So right here, and all I did was look at the slope and then figure out where the 79 contour would intersect. And I'm going to hit perpendicular to here. So that's going to be a 79 also. All right. So fillet radius 0. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just use the forward one because it'll make my life easier. So I'm going to go ahead and fillet radius 50. Here, ooh, 50 is too big. Fillet radius, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do 50. Fillet radius 50. Because anything tighter, you're not going to be able to construct. A contractor can't construct. And then this will end up having to be some type of retaining wall is my guess at this point in time. Fillet radius 5 here. All right. Now from here, I'm going to use 20. If I have to use retaining walls on the inside, I'll use retaining walls on the inside because that's just too big of a radius right now. We're losing a lot of land. So I'm using a radius of 20. Now, I shouldn't have bothered with the contours labeled here, but I'm not going to worry about it for right now. So the 69 contour is right here. See this elevation right here? So what I can do is to use the natural grade or to tie back into natural grade, I'm going to go ahead and go apparent intersection right here. And I'm going to just snap to the end point, or actually I'm going to come close to here and snap to it because that'll be my 69. I mean 79, jeez. So I'm going to go fillet radius 100 on the outside. And that'll be fine. So that's what my pond top of bank's going to start to look like. And I'm going to start to go 4 to 1 down. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out. I shouldn't have spent the time to give them numbers. I apologize. So go ahead and take those out. Offset 4. So that'll be my 78 elevation. Offset 4. This will be my 77. Offset 4. That'll be my 76. Offset 4. This will be 75. All right. So as I'm looking through here, if this is 75, this is 9876, and 5 would be this point right here. And that one, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that grip, that middle point, and add a vertex. And I'm going to add it nearest here to tie in to there. All I'm doing is giving myself the opportunity to tie back down to grade, which is extremely important when you're doing projects and making sure that all the elevations tie in. I'm going to add, so I'm using natural ground, existing ground, to make sure that my grades tie in. Now I'll have to give these contours to make them, you know, fillet radius. I'm going to say 10, just to make it look a little smoother. And I'm using 10 on all of them. Okay. Now, so this one would be here, would be, let's see what that elevation is. Hover over it. That elevation is 75. Okay. This elevation here is 76. Okay. So if this is 74, then I can tie in to the 74 through here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and offset 4 feet to get my 74. If this is a 74 also, then I am going to change this elevation to 74. And I'm going to F fillet, R for radius, and I'm going to do 20. And I'm going to fillet this this direction. Okay. Now, I would need to put in another vertex in here somewhere, and I'm going to offset that 4. And that would basically come up to this point here, because I'm trying to get these, and I'm going to delete that, fillet radius 20, to tie back in a natural way. So this is 74, so I'm using some of tract C as my pond. So we know that we can use some of our pond for open space, so we'll make it some type of amenity. There's 74. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this to here. It's not closed yet, but I'm going to do, actually I'm going to probably undo that. I'm going to extend this down to here. EX, and then just extend. And then I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it here. So I'm going to go fillet radius 20, and I'm going to radius that, and I'm going to go ahead and make that a radius of 20 if I can, which it won't. It's because of this arc isn't proper. So fillet radius, I'm going to try 5. There we go. All right. So there is, and I'm going to go ahead and go fillet radius 20 here. Now the reason I'm doing this is for constructability. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can fillet radius this one also 20. Now that I've got there we go. So there's actually my top of bank for my pond. So now I'm going to offset 4. Wrong direction. Offset 4. Interior. So that'll be 73. Offset 4. 72. Offset 4. 71. And then offset 4. And that'll be 70. That'll be the bottom of our dry pond. So this is going to be a dry pond. So water's not going to be sitting in there. When you use a dry pond, you can use a little bit more or use less water quality treatment volume. Now what I have here is I have got from this elevation here to this elevation is only our pond area. The remaining elevation is going to be open space. It's going to be just land that we're not going to be able to use. So 73 is, there's 73 right here. I believe this contour right here is 73. Yep. So this elevation here is 74. It will tie in to, I think this is an elevation of 74. Yep. So this will actually stop here. Parent intersection. This one will stop here. And I believe this is 74 also. 70, 69, 70, 71, and 72 will stop here. And there's 72. Okay. And this one is parent intersection 73. All right, so this is how our pond's going to tie in, and it'll tie into natural grade. Okay, I can bring this up if I want to do a better job at a vertex here. So when you're doing your design, you're trying to get a nice, you know, contoured area for constructability. But this is what our pond area is. Okay, now that we've got the pond area laid out, we're going to take a look at the stage area, water quality, treatment volume, the total area of the site, and if this pond is going to be big enough, or if we have to do some type of under drain system to reduce the to allow us to use a smaller area.